And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and we're here!
We're here in a very, very special live because...
Finally, today's the day that we're going to reveal Illustrado's 300 most influential Filipinos in the Gulf. So thank you for joining the show. So welcome to Illustrado Go Live. People, wherever you are in the world, please say hi to us, guys. I'm Lalaine Benitez, Editor-in-Chief here at Illustrado Magazine,
And I'm Alvi Villiar. I'm the features editor of Illustrado Magazine.
Today is a very special day.
I'm just smiling because I'm super excited.
We're super excited, super nervous.
And I know it's not just us. A lot of people are also excited to see the list because this year, it's our legacy issue. It's our legacy edition.
Issue. Look at this.
Look how thick the
it I know like you.
Yeah.
This is actually like an encyclopedia of the most significant Filipinos here in the Gulf region.
The most talented, the most creative, the most everything.
The best of the best. But before we go and tell them about our very talented kababayans, we would like to thank our sponsors for today who have supported us in this project.
Okay, that's me. Done.
It's funny, in Emirates business class, you hardly ever see anyone doing business. Wonder why.
Fly Emirates. Fly better.
So special thanks to all the people who have helped us with this project, especially Kaya Skin Clinic. We have Emirates Airlines, we have Unilever, Michael Cinco, Ezra Couture, we have Giordano and Herschel Supply Co., Darcey Flowers, IKON Solutions, Victor's Freight, MPQ Tourism, Asia Gulf Companies, La Carne and Filfood, and WOL Water. Of course, special thanks to Angel Villiar de Jesus of Marocha, Ricci Fashion, and Garimon Roferos Couture. Alwi, you're looking so couture today.
Thank you to my tailor.
My goodness. Okay, I have an accessories you know, incident right now.
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah. This is a very important issue for us,
It is.
Alwi. And tell us why it's so significant. Maybe you can share the whole thing about
You know, like,
Illustrado.
we've been doing this for so many years already. Even for me, like, this is my 4th edition of the most influential Filipinos in the Gulf.
And this is the 5th
And this is the 5th.
in the history of the
yeah.
most influential Filipinos of the Gulf. So it's a very, very important
But it's
issue.
like,
Yeah.
I'm just smiling and I'm just so still very excited every year and even more this year that we have the 300 most influential.
Yeah,
Because
but
we've always had the hashtag 100MIFG,
Yeah.
right?
300 is very important because this is our 5th year. That's why we thought we'll make a legacy issue that really, really covers a slice of the history of the Filipinos out here in the Gulf. But before we get into that, I think it's only fitting that we give you a peek on who are the people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Because, you know, for us, it's so important, you know, not only to recognize all these talented Filipinos, but to recognize the team that works on this project also. So we would like to show you a short clip on Team Illustrado. So of course you've seen Team Illustrado. Everybody knows about Team Illustrado. And let me just preface this, why it's so important for us to show you who Team Illustrado is, because when people see us, people assume that Illustrado is just me and Alwi.
Yeah.
There
It's
are
not.
other people who are working with us who have been toiling on this project for the last 6 months. That's why it's so important for us, you know, to mention them here, right? Of course, we have our extended family, Alwi. Let's let's acknowledge all of them. First of all, we have Roseanne Antonio, Jeff Anog, of course. You know, wouldn't you want to get photographed by Roseanne and Jeff?
Legends.
Right? Legends.
And they've been working with us, especially for these issues and
For so
even our
many
fashion
years
issues
now.
for so many years. So yeah,
We love you guys. Ace Reyes, of course, up-and-coming photographer. J.A. Arevalo, Donald Gumiran, the legend. Noylin Maipa, Beethoven Filomeno, who's also a rising fashion photographer. Richelle Peja, of course, Alex Kaluing and Eros Goze. Now, I know, Eros, you're already there in the Philippines. I hope you're listening, but we had to put your name here because you've worked so hard
And
on
we miss
helping
you
us.
so much.
And we miss you. You know, these guys have been working on the MIFG for the longest time. Of course, the Metro Sapiens, Kel Recuenco and Ivan Kabatit, and of course, Guay Soriano, who styled us in our last editorial shoot. Of course, the fabulous Mau Piodena the fourth.
Yeah.
I have to add the fourth.
Generations after generations.
Definitely. And Ron Babao of Vast Vogue Studio. You have to say it like this.
The vast.
Vast Vogue Studio. Of course, you know, our perennial supporters, Heiko De Sesto and her team, Melon Quinzon Perez of the Melrish Studio team, Sheldon Dacalos for the video and Lighthouse Studio, And our writers out there in the Philippines, Excel Di Kianco, Angelica Ruth Dumaraos, if you're listening right now, do say hi so people know that you've worked on this issue that's so important to so many people out here.
Yeah, thank you so much for the extended team members of the Team Illustrado. And also want to take this opportunity to thank and say hi also to people who have been supporting us through watching our live and reading our editorials or featured stories. So I would like to say hi to Chris Macapagal, Tom Alvarado, Dr. Nino Desidero, Albert from Darcey Flowers is
Mr.
watching.
Darcey.
Edwin
Darcey Flowers.
Duria is watching. GRJ Visages is watching. Jamie Limbo is watching. June Ricafort is watching. Doc Jello Santos. Also would like to say hi to my love, Danabel Gutierrez.
Hi, Danabel.
Jeriel Ariola
Hello,
is
over.
watching. Desiree Vlecken is watching. Susan Villanueva, Madam Yas, Eric Perales is watching. Ace Reyes, Brian Gloria, and Marlon Malinao
all the way from
Kuwait.
Kuwait. So thank you guys for joining us. And you know, if you know of some people who are worthy to be part of this list in the future, please send us a message, write a comment below, or just say hi to us, and you know, we'll read your message today. And yeah, before we dive into our first category, let me just explain to you. We have a couple of categories this year. First of all, we have Game Changers, we have Trailblazers, Thought Leaders, and Tastemakers. But we also added one category this year, which is Legacy, right? The Legacy category, these are the people who have, they're not here in the Gulf anymore, but the work that they have done has a lasting impact on all the people here. So for us, it's so important to recognize all these people. And perhaps you can share about the diversity of our honorees this year, Ali, right? So it's people from different walks of life, yeah?
No, actually, before we go through the list, there are a few things that I also wanted to talk about this issue and why it's so special, and why we put in a lot of effort just to, you know, like publish an issue as thick as this, and especially this is our
madness.
5th year. Because I remember when I first joined Illustrado Magazine, I interviewed you.
Okay.
And I wanted to ask you the same
Are you
question.
gonna make me cry now?
We're
always
crying
crying.
live. I remember asking, the first question was, why do you do what you do?
Do you remember what I said?
I remember the first line. You have to continue it. I remember Lalaine saying, it's more of why do we do what we do.
It's the why of why we do what we do is that if nobody else will do it, who's gonna do it for us?
Yeah.
I hope that gels with how you remember
Yes.
it. You know, this has always been our DNA in Illustrado, is that if we do not uplift our fellow Filipinos, if we do not promote our community, then who's gonna do it for us? So we're really driving the standards, and that's why this MIFG, it's all about elevating. It's not a popularity contest. It's not an award. We are not here to you know, just award people because they have so many fans. It's all about advancing the community. It's all about adding value and putting our name in a good way out there.
And it's just,
right?
we're just very happy to be the ones to be able to tell your story.
Definitely.
Your story of success, your story of even struggles, and how you managed to get up from that struggle, right?
Exactly. So do share your stories with us and do say hi. You know, we're diving into it now.
Yeah.
With our first category, Alwi. And our first category is the Game Changers. Let's watch this. Game Changers, wow. What an amazing, gathering of people there, Alwi, right?
But what does it mean for you, the Game Changers?
Game changer, well, literally, they're the ones who are changing the game. That means they're advancing their field. They're doing more than what is expected within their field, and it's not only for the Filipino community. They're not only representing the Filipino community, they're actually representing everybody else. And they're able to compete with the entire multicultural community out here. So, we have people like, of course, the number one game changers this year are the people from the Department of Trade and Tourism, our Team Filipinas for
Dubai Expo 2020.
And we're very excited. We have Secretary Ramon Lopez, we have Assistant Secretary Ros Vigaitos. Of course, we have Architect Royal Pineda and Curator Marian Pastoroses. They're set for an amazing exhibition at the Dubai Expo 2020.
And I can't wait to see it.
We can't
Because
wait.
it's something that all of us could be proud of.
Definitely. And of course, we all know that work has been going on since last year. And I'm pretty excited on how they're going to change the Filipino narrative and tell us a different version of our history that we haven't heard about before, right?
And one thing that I also like about this list of game changers is that it's not just focused in one industry. As you saw, there are game changers from the fashion industry,
Definitely.
from architecture.
Yeah. I mean, this is diversity is very important for us because we always get asked this question. Well, I keep telling the story, aren't the architects more important than the social media influencers or whatever? Everybody's got a role to play in whatever field they're playing. That's why we have, people like Ilyak Diaz, who is a social entrepreneur for the first global Filipino NGO, and you have Froilan Malit, who's in the government, Dr. Miguel Sijuco, and then on the other side you have Chef John Buenaventura and Chef Andrew Paderes and Roland Puse.
And then on the fashion side, we have Michael Cinco, Ezra, and Fern Amato.
And definitely Bong Guerrero.
Yeah,
who
of
has
course.
been,
shaping the
definitely.
fashion landscape here in this region.
Definitely. So this is what we're talking about. It's not just about representing the Filipino community. It's excelling. It's being ahead of everybody else, regardless of their nationalities. Of course, we have other people like we all know about Sharifa Al-Balushi, who's a Filipina Emirati pilot with Etihad Airways. Nick Nadal, who's also from the government. Attorney Barney Almazar.
Yeah. People's attorney.
The people's attorney. He's a top-notch corporate lawyer. Of course, Dr. Michael Puruganan, who's a scientist. Mary Jane Alvera, whom we love so much, such a big symbol of Filipina empowerment. How she has climbed from the ranks to be where she is today as a CEO and growing her company globally.
And
also.
even our favorite poet, Danibel Gutierrez.
There you go.
Even for empowering Filipinas. I would always remember her poem titled "Teaching My Lover How to Love in Filipino."
I love that. Yeah. And how many can say that they can actually rise and be an author and be part of the Emirates Lit Fest and perform at the Louvre. These are big things. Of course, we have CSR champion Elena Cruz from ENBD, who happens to be one of our founding team members in Illustrado. There's trivia for you there. And then, of course, we have John Edward Santillan of Denari Cash, who is a very strong startup founder out there who's making waves out there in the market, right?
And even Ishwar
Chugani, retail legend. On the advertising side, we do have Edipolo Edan Agarao, who's the godfather of Filipino advertising. I just say that because it's automatic. Of course, Don Almario Mon Benitez, our creative director, and Joby Bihag. These guys have won so many awards that put them ahead of the pack, right? Actually, there was a time a couple of years ago, maybe 1 decade ago, when most of the agencies, the top agencies, their creatives were Filipino. They were the ones leading the pack. So it's so important to recognize that.
And even I, in the creative field, like having meetings with brands and clients, and for them to appreciate the value of the Filipino creativity, it's thanks to these people who have been here,
Definitely,
like before us,
who changed the game. So what we're trying to say here, guys, is that this is nothing new.
Yeah.
These people have been excelling. They've been there all these years, and it's just for us to recognize them. Then of course Roland Rodriguez, who was really the main purveyor or the starter of the entire urban art movement here with his group, the Brown Monkeys.
Yeah.
Right? So Dubai wouldn't look the way it looks today if not for these guys, if they haven't started that whole urban art movement. Now you see a lot of graffitis in, you know, in the buildings and all that, but it wasn't like that before. Somebody had to start it.
And you see, it's not just shaping the Filipino community, it's shaping this entire region, this entire community,
They have
the
put a
global
stamp.
community.
Definitely. And yeah, last but not the least on that pack is Jovi and Janet Tuanyo, who are very big entrepreneurs. I mean, Jovi is the founder, one of the co-founders or the earliest co-founders of the Filipino business community in Abu Dhabi, of course. And you know, they support each other. They have Asia Gulf group of companies. They have La Carne, which is an amazing premium you know, butchery in Abu Dhabi that has really set the bar for gourmands out there. And of course, they have a project called Filfood, which is supposed to elevate the quality of Filipino cuisine and put it on the mainstream. So, you know, we are supporting you guys and we thank you for your work. And let's proceed to the next category, which is legacy.
The category is legacy. So as you can see, a lot of the folks there in our legacy, you know, category are diplomats. But before we delve into the diplomats of the past, of course, we would like to recognize our own ambassador, Jocelyn Quintana, over in the Philippine Embassy in Abu Dhabi, who is part of the DTI Team Filipinas, right? You want to show the very nice photo. So Look at that.
Ambassador Jocelyn Quintana joined the UAE, or was posted in the UAE back in 2018, and she was really instrumental in getting all this, you know, all the groundwork for the Team Filipinas for Bangkota.
And
So
even
we're-
galvanizing people to actually help out in the process of making this possible.
So we're looking, again, we want to say we're looking forward to the Dubai Expo 2020 to see what Team Filipinas has, you know, prepared for us. And now we're going to be talking about our legacy, you know, category, folks. First of all, we have architect Felino June Palafox Jr. I think a lot of people, a lot of you by now know about his story and how he was part of the urban planning and the earlier years of developing Dubai. Of course, we have Ambassador Kabaktulan who became the became the permanent UN representative from the Philippines, and he has done a lot of things here in the UAE. We also want to recognize Ambassador Roy Senyeres, the late Ambassador Roy Senyeres, who was in Abu Dhabi, back in the days of Sara Balabagan, and it was because of his efforts that the OWA was formed. So before there was no OWA, and with all these cases and his recommendations, the OWA was formed. We also want to recognize Ambassador Grace Princesa, whom we miss so much.
Our nanay.
Our nanay Grace, our Amba Grace, who is the Philippine ambassador now to the Vatican, right? And of course, Ambassador or former Ambassador Corazon Yap Bajin, who was the ambassador in Bahrain. She was very significant because she was the first Filipina Muslim in the diplomatic service, or the first Filipina Muslim ambassador. And that's a great symbol not only for women but for the Muslim Filipino Muslims in general. Of course, Ambassador Vigno, who is also retired right now, whom we also miss. Ambassador Vigno facilitated the repatriation of 1,500 Filipinos.
That's a lot, yeah.
That's a lot of Filipinos. And we'd like to recognize our charge d'affaires who were in Libya before, in a war zone. We have, who is now a Consul General in Los Angeles, Consul General Adelio Cruz, and Charge d'Affaires Elmer Gato, who is still in Libya. We are always praying for your safety. These guys are risking their lives just to be of service to our kababayans. And then last but not the least is the woman beside the man, who is Madame Feka Baktulan, whom we love so much and we miss so much also. And she was leading, in the diplomatic front for the spouses. And she was doing so in New York. So all these people are very, very influential. Do you want to mention some of our legacy folks?
Yeah, we also have Captain Frank Desidero, the first Filipino pilot to fly the A380. And also Mercedes Cabral. I know a lot of you guys are familiar with her. She did the feature film in Kuwait.
It's a series.
It's a series in 2016.
It's the first time a Filipina was in a regional series, which is again a landmark or a milestone for us. Yeah. Of course, on the advertising side, people already know the late Romy Miklat, who is the creator of everybody's loved mascot Modesh. Right, which we always see in the Dubai Summer Surprises. Mike Filon, who is already in Kuala Lumpur, but Mike Filon was one of those top-notch creative directors who really gained a lot of respect out here. So we recognize, his part in the history of the Filipinos here. Darwin Japat Guevara. He has had his exhibitions here. Again, he's already settled in the Philippines. Tini Mayer is there also. Of course, on the business side, we have the late Jess Galang, who was one of the co-founders of the Philippine Business Council. In fact, he was the first Filipino entrepreneur. He set up his restaurant, and if you folks are here in Dubai for a long time, I remember his restaurant was there. It's called Tagpuan. That was there more than 30 years ago. So he was one of the intrepid Filipinos who started their own business, and he was working in the oil industry.
It's just so great to hear these stories, because even if they're not here anymore,
we recognize them.
It's it feels like they haven't left because their legacy is still here.
Definitely. And this is us again saying that we're not only successful now, people. We're talking about this today, but the success has been there all along. So it's so important to chronicle. Of course, we have Lucille Ong, who was the chairman of the Philippine Business Council, Isabel Warren, Remy Chu, the Tahan Langits, who are very well known in the area of music. On the fashion side, right, this is very interesting because before everything else, before Dubai became such a leader in fashion in the whole of the Gulf, there was a Filipina who set up her own couture shop before, and it's called the Mayflower. So all the well-heeled women before, they used to get their wedding, their wedding gowns from the Mayflower, and the owner is Cristina Barrientos. The founder was Cristina Barrientos. In fact, they were so popular that during the time of the Dubai World Cup, the women would be wearing millinery from the Mayflower.
Oh, wow.
So it was that fabulous. So this is not something new. This was so long ago. Of course, Albert Andrade was a royal designer here in Fujairah before he went to, to settle in the Philippines and eventually dressed so many of our, beauty queens, right? Of course, we recognize Bandoy Flores also, who was a very strong part of the Filipino fashion community. Oh, this is interesting. Nina Naval and Manette Mercado, right? These are our, well, I'll say veteran because they've been walking on the runway for such a long time. But even before Fashion Forward, when it was still Dubai Fashion Week, we already had Filipinas.
It was them.
We already had Filipinas on the runway. Again, this is not something new. Maybe there was no Facebook before.
With their Filipino look, the features.
Exactly. Especially Nina Naval was the muse of Amato Couture for a couple of seasons, and she's walked for so many brands, so many luxury brands. So we recognize them. Chef Jade Saducas, who's already relocated in the Philippines, is very significant for us, and we consider her as one of the legacy honorees. Why? Because she has raised the bar in her industry. She won an international award for being a cake and pastry artist, and that is not a small feat. She didn't only bring honor to the Filipino community, she brought honor to the Jumeirah Group as well.
And
right?
she was also an ambassador for several commercial brands.
Definitely, yeah, Huawei and Emirates Airline.
Emirates Airlines, yeah.
And then we have these groups who have really helped so many Filipinos through the years, the Jarati, CAD, Oops, and Migrante. And now you have some greetings, Alwi?
Yeah, saying hi to a lot of people. There is a lot of you guys watching, so thank you so much. Hello to Magat Anong, Romel Pilapil Serio, Christina Magalyon is watching, Ayon Gonzaga, Joseph Alcantar, will be seeing you later, Nick Maranan, Melon Kinzon Perez, Erwin Liadok, Ann Liagas is watching, I hope you can make it later on. Felicitas Bade, Jane Alfeche, Mamerto Buenaventura.
All the way from the Philippines, that's Chef John's father,
Yeah.
right? Hi, guys.
Ryan Pasoles is watching, Ronald Awad, Dea Paderes, Nathaniel Alapide, Chris Daimon, Chris Magbu is also watching, James Estaniel, there's a lot of you guys, Junimar Geka, Gui Soriano, Maria Teresa Kiteng.
There's also Ed Christopher, all the way from the Philippines, Betong Filomeno, Joni Jose. Conjan Paul Cortez is also watching. Hi, Conjan. See you
Dr.
later.
Rex Bakara is watching, Ishwar Chugani, Enrique Yamzon. Thank you so much, guys, for your support.
Thank you for your support, and please tell us your super elevating stories. Do share your stories with us. And with that, we'll go to our next category, which is Trailblazers. So those were our trailblazers, right? Blazing the trail, quite literally, right? And anyway, before we, go ahead and just pick out some names here, we would just like to remind you guys, you will be able to read all the stories of these people later on, and the magazine will be available for orders later on, and we will share that with you. So if you want to have a copy of this encyclopedia, it's called an encyclopedia now, and please, we're going to be posting the links, and we're also going to be sharing the digital URLs, right? Right. So for our trailblazers, we have our diplomatic corps there, from Conjan Paul Cortez, Trade Attaché Cham Yalong, and Labor Attaché Felicitas Bey, to our ambassadors in Saudi Arabia, in Bahrain, in Oman, even Qatar, and of course our consuls from Saudi, from Jeddah, right? Madam Yasmin Balahadia Cortez is there, of course, again, showing what a woman can do, and really do something very positive for the community, and especially in arts, and to bring everybody together. Philippine Business Council is there. Of course, the three doctors. The trio, Dr. Romel, Dr. Rex Bacara, and Doc Nino De Senorio, who are changing how teachers are defined.
And also
right,
helping out students, not just Filipinos, to gain more access to education.
Definitely, right. And yeah, we have Mario Cardenas, who's won so many awards, Camille Rojas, Patrick Fronda, of course, Donald Gumiran, Romeo Puncia, who is our Filipino Ultraman. He's won so many
I like that. The Filipino Ultraman.
Yeah, he's the Filipino Ultraman. You're going to read about him also. Christopher Frostel Trasmanio, Flor de Lisa Pesigan, who is an artist, Nathaniel Alapida, everybody knows about him, Andronico Del Rosario, who has done production for different films, including Star Wars.
And even Fehide also,
Fehide,
who's a brilliant actress and director.
Definitely. Well, we have Boblix, who is Saeed Majid, who is based in Bahrain. He's got 1 million fans. He's Filipino Bahraini. And I love what Boblix is doing, because he's using his platform to actually talk to the youth about issues like, environmental awareness and sustainability, as well as, traffic safety. So this is a good use of the platform. It's not only for social purposes. In fact, you can use it to great effect to do good. So that's Boblix, who is based in Bahrain. Of course, we have the Pink Tarha girls, who are based in Saudi Arabia.
In Riyadh,
In Riyadh, yeah. They have changed Riyadh, and they made it look like a tourism destination, which is, again, recognized by the Saudi government. Shaima Hormilosa is also one of our top-notch social media lifestyle influencers out there, and she's really sharing her, not only her beautiful life, but she has fitness advice, and she's worked with so many brands.
And we also have Dr. Jello Santos, who's now in Germany, I think in Munich. We'll be waiting for the amazing photos. Go check him out if you want to see like amazing photographs of the places he's been to.
And he's released a couple of books.
Yes.
Right? So these people are not just typical social media influencers. We have Maria Gaspacho, of course, who's also, I would say, a veteran in the social media game. She's very well recognized. Junie Sorsano is there. Our every Juan de la Cruz. He was one of the pioneers who started vlogging, particularly on YouTube. And of course, Ion Gonzaga. And now we're going to move to our next category, which are the thought leaders. so those were our thought leaders. You want to talk about our number one thought leader, group
Yeah,
right now?
of course, we have the IKON group headed by Juni Del Mundo.
Yeah.
They started they founded a branch of the IKON Philippines here in Dubai, specifically for Dubai Expo, right?
And may I say, I would like to use the word kick-ass. Kick-ass communication agency, IKON Group, is here in the UAE, so it feels good to have a really strong representation in the communications side there. Of course, Joseph Alcantara, who's with Emirates Airline, leading the way, marketing communications director. Florencio Padilla Jr., he's quite an elusive guy, but you will see him speaking in places like the Middle East Retail Conference. So he's a topic expert in people experience. We love his work. Of course, Leon Salinel is there, Josephine Cuthbert. On the hotelier side, on the marketing side, we have
Danelle Ruth Palang, Rosemary Tacorda, Emil Loyola Artigas, Josie Delphine, Michelle Robis, Cleo Eleazar.
Yeah.
So
and these people are behind some of the best brands
Yeah.
out there. So we are talking about Burj Al Arab, we're talking about Palazzo Versace, we're talking about the
Dusit,
the Radisson Blu Hotel, Dubai Dairy Creek. Wow, I said that without any mistake. If you're there,
Josie, are you proud of us?
please, you should be proud of us, right? Of course, on the business side, we also have Agnes Pedrosa Marilid, who has done a lot in Abu Dhabi. You need to know somebody in Abu Dhabi, you have to talk to Agnes.
It's her. She
Pedrosa
is the
Marilid.
encyclopedia of the people that you need to know in Abu Dhabi.
She's the encyclopedia of the people in Abu Dhabi. And of course, Agnes has also played a key role with IKON Solutions in the Philippines, a very important company there. We have Roxanne Magbanwa Negrillo, who's leading in the advertising field. She is the business unit head for PhD, which is a very well-known agency. Joanne Rico is with the Bahrain Hospital Group. Of course, Trisha Jimenea Cusi in PR.
And from Catch PR, who's handling a lot of brands, activations. She's a sweet girl, but she's very,
Very powerful.
and anything a guy can do, she can do in heels, even if
She
she's
can do
pregnant.
in heels, exactly. And then you have the rising marketing stars like Rudston Estrelado. You have Krishna De La Paz, who is with the Emirates Lit Festival. Alan Jambaro, who is with the Dubai Festival City. Jenny Baluyot, Christina Bonte, of course, BJ De Guzman, who's into the business of hip and cool, right?
Yeah.
And we have Vageline Federico, who is also, a very well-respected HR director there, Vanji Tadena of JA Resorts. And we have Mylene Escano de Guzman, who is with Abu Dhabi Sports TV. We have Jose Cosca, we have Irene Corpus, Eduardo Viray, Juan Paulo Arau, Dr. Joey and Dr. Eileen Villanueva, who have helped thousands of Filipinos with their medical mission in Abu Dhabi. We say thank you for all your hard work. Of course, Wafa Kasimiye, who is with the Islamic and Charitable Activities Department, she serves as a bridge between the Filipino community and the Dubai government.
And then, of course, we have Alan Bautista from LBC.
From LBC, and we have Enrique Amzon, who is now the country manager of respected real estate development brand Ayala. And right now, we're going to show you our next set of thought leaders. Alvi, what did you say?
It's too long.
This is so long, guys. If you see our list, it's amazingly long. So let me remind you again, this is not the 100 most influential Filipinos in the
It's
Gulf.
a 300.
This is the 300 most influential, and that's why it is so painful to make. But you know, I hope you appreciate
It's
our
also very
efforts.
rewarding.
It's very rewarding because we're really captured a slice of history of the Filipinos out here in the Gulf. And guys, this is going to be available. This issue is going to be available soon. So, you know, you can place your orders, and I hope you don't miss it because this is going to be a lifetime, once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know when we're going to do this again. Maybe it's going to be the 500 next time. I don't know. If I have like a, I want pain. That's
Inflicting pain.
self-inflicting, right? And anyway, we have so many people who are thought leaders in the field. You're going to be reading about them. So this is really from business to media, you know. So
Yeah.
we have a lot of entrepreneurs there. We're pretty excited about Albert Benco Tranquilino, for example, who we call as Mr. Darcey. He's built this wonderful top-notch flower business, right? I mean, what makes him very interesting is that this is not just your regular community flower shop. This is a flower shop that's super, super premium, that's serving, elite customers out there.
It even matches my outfit.
It even matches your outfit. This is what they call couture. Speaking of outfits, I would like to thank Garimon Escandor Roferos for the beautiful dress. I hope I did it justice, Gary. And
the necklace.
The necklace is an Anong necklace. And thank you very much, Michael Cinco, for the beautiful necklace. It's very me. It's big. You know how I am.
Extra.
And extra. So thank you very much, guys. And yes, like we said, from business to our veterans in media, like Jay Hilotin and Maricar Puyod. We have Maxi Santiago in Kuwait. Of course, new media. We have Christina Magallon of UAE DNA. And then we've got podcaster Danielle Francisco, whose Drive to Succeed podcast is really on top of Middle East business podcasts. Filipino is doing that, right? So that's very important to mention. Of course, we have people from the community like the Bayanihan Council in Abu Dhabi, the PBC in Abu Dhabi. Josie Conlu, who is a terrific leader for
She's
the
been a
Filipino
household
community.
name.
She's a household name. Josie Conlu is a brand, right? So an amazing leader. Together with her team, with a Phil Club in Dubai, they brought some 50,000 Filipinos for the Independence Day celebrations last year. What an amazing feat! And of course, we've got the philanthropists, in our midst, like Tess Bautista, who's helping Filipinos in distress, Nila Bandigan, Leo Barameda, Olga Barcelona. Amy Miranda, who's a leader in Northern Emirates. She's helped so many people qualify to become nurses.
And you also have Iman and Luchi Sugitan, the sisters who have been helping the farmers also in the Philippines with their business out here.
Co Chocolat. So guys, please do support the Filipino businesses because, they also support a larger community of people.
The chocolates are really good and they're vegan.
And they're healthy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, right. I'm concerned about being very healthy. But anyway, and then of course we have our educators out there, Lyndon Magsino from the Philippine Business School, Jennifer Gonzalez, who's also a very strong fixture in the education community there, Beethoven Filipino, who's not only a photographer, he's also an educator in Amity University. He's teaching a lot of kids digital media. Of course, Kabayan Dubai is educating so many Filipinos to change their careers. So is Gabrielle Romando of Filipino Institute. Also, Mayet Malang Evans of Philbrit Institute. And then, of course, we have the Filipino school founder, Maria Teresa Sales Alansari. And a new player out there, but something very effective and something very novel is Homeschool Global, which is founded by Isabel Gallagher. And of course, we've got De La Salle Montessori.
It's just amazing. I mean, it's already amazing to tell the stories of these people, but to be able to see them grow and elevate themselves year after year, and you see their growth.
That's true. So really, it's a
they're
pleasure.
so galang, yeah.
We're honored actually to be able to chronicle the history of the community here in our own way. So I hope you guys appreciate that, and please do find out about all these people. And before we go on with our tastemakers, which is very fashion, right? Before we go on for our tastemakers, we would like to acknowledge our sponsors again who have supported us for the 300. Thank you so much, Kaya Skin Clinic and Emirates Airline.
Okay, that's me. Done.
It's funny, in Emirates business class, you hardly ever see anyone doing business. Wonder why.
Fly Emirates. Fly better.
So the people of taste, the tastemakers, please explain, Alwi, why are the tastemakers so important?
Well, these are the people who are shaping the aesthetics, creativity, putting their works out there
Definitely,
through
yeah.
photography, through their blogs, their creations, their artistry,
Their fashion,
their
their
fashion,
design,
even
yeah.
their outfits.
Definitely. I mean, I have a favorite phrase for these people, cultural zeitgeist. So if you're going to look at the top or the creme de la creme of the Filipino community, if you're going to look at design, aesthetics, it's the tastemakers. And even in terms of the communication world out there, right? That's why in our first cluster, we have our fashion folks, right? Our very, our beloved, lovely designers. We have Jimmy Buenconsejo, who's of course the royal designer with the Al Maktoum Palace, right? We have Yen AB, who's going to be launching, you know, a nice, very, very fabulous line, I think in September.
Excited for that.
I'm very excited because it's not only couture, he's got some urban fashion going on. So that's going to be really exciting. Of course, we have Angel Villiar de Jesus. Thank you very much, Angel, for the beautiful dress for my editor's note photo. And thank you for always helping us.
And we also have Ryan Pacholas, who just did London Fashion Week.
Congratulations, Ryan. Definitely. Harvey Sanit, Ignacio Loyola, who has an atelier in Dubai Design District. Of course, Garimon Roferos of Garimon Roferos Couture. Michael Conde, who is an amazing events designer in Abu Dhabi. He's so avant-garde. He's so weird. Seriously, he's so weird that, you know, he toes the line between fashion and Middle East Comic-Con. He's amazing in his line of work, so worth checking, you guys. And of course, we have June Ricafort, the Abaya King, Resti Lagare in Kuwait, Jolina in Qatar, Rolando Lotto and all his fabulousness. He's organizing a lot of these luxury events for all these top brands. The very fabulous but much feared Michael Amazona Del Mar, right? Models quake.
Who doesn't know him?
Michael, you know, models quake in their stilettos when they see Michael Amazona Del Mar because, you know, he's the casting director for Fashion Forward and he's done so many events, so many fabulous activities out there. And we have the model makers Ann Liagas of Ann Models, and we have Glitzy Robles
from Niche Modeling
Agency, who is known for bringing in international models to the ramps here in Dubai. We have Farah Manalo, Paul Kiefer, amazing models, Dimitri Tolinars, Benedicte Gamelgard, of course our photographers, Rosen Antonio, Jeff Anog, Gir Velasquez, who's into film, mostly fashion film. Of course, we have Alex Kaluwing, Ace Reyes,
Mark Ganzon, Mok Santos. So amazing, amazing work. You need to check them. You need to check their works out.
Definitely. And Guay Soriano, the Metro Sapiens, Kel Recuenco and Ivan Cabate.
Amazing stylists.
Joe Dark, who we're missing right now. Joe, please come back soon. Enough of that holiday, Joe. Come and party with us.
We'll do a replay of this one for you.
Definitely. And Jesse Tabla, Valentino Montuerto, Jasmine, Ivy Peralta, Bobby Caparas, Brianson Akalar, and Jaja Rivera, who are the leaders in makeup.
And these are the people who are not just good in makeup, in doing makeup. These are the guys who have done amazing, even regional, local, and global campaigns for different brands.
They are the movers and shakers in the fashion industry here, so you better believe it. It's the Filipino talent. And now we go on to tastemakers once again. there. So
It's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming, right? So from fine artists like Larry Carumba and Tom Alvarado, Ella Orencilio, to magician Normando Macalinao. Of course, we have mixologist Alberto Opena with his Tagay
I love
cocktails.
mixologists.
You love mixologists. They're our best friends, right? So he's promoting Filipino taste and ingredients out there in the market. Of course, we have Steve Patrick Moore, who's a TV personality and an events host. Also, Clarita de Quiroz, the very beautiful Clarita, who's also a very well-respected musician here. In fact, she fronted Mariah Carey for the Dubai Expo 2020 opening.
Oh yeah.
So she was there in that concert. Herman Adioba on the dancing front. Marcos de la Peña. We have DJ Pauline Moreno Craig. Of course, we have model Dexter Dalisay. We have the YY Band, Twisted Martinez.
We have rappers Machiavelli, Patrick Garcia, Cromwell Ojeda, Menon, and other creators like Chris Columbiran, Haiku Desesto, amazing events photographer.
Charles Levan, of course, who's an amazing content creator. Of course, Tonio Alestuani. Of course, Agustin Paredes, Melon Quinzon Perez, Milo Torres, who's a veteran in the market. Also the Alpha Media Group, Oliver Serrano, and
Our radio personalities, Bluebird Echeverria, Louis Da Costa, Chikay, and of course we have our family also, Pinoy Arabia ME, Ramon Nevea,
who
Christina.
represents the golfing
Yes.
golfing community. And of course we have Christina Caringal, who's a consul at Internations. She's organized so many of these events. And now we go to our last batch of tastemakers, guys. are amazing influencers there,
I
Alvin.
mean, I'm very proud of this bunch because like I had a conversation with most of them. It was like, you guys are super adulting.
Super adulting.
No, like from meeting each other from the Insta meets to creating
That's where we
amazing
started.
content for brands. It's just so amazing.
We've really
to look
seen
at.
how they've grown, right? A lot of them have gone on to become amazing content creators, and it's amazing to see them growing in the market, and we're very happy to have them, right?
You have Javen Tabernilla, who is creating content for Huda Beauty. You have Patrick Caldito, you have Jerome Rafael, Hair, the founding father of Insta Meets here in Dubai, and Bettina Miku from being a fashion blogger who's now leading different fashion events and gatherings for
Amazing to see them
brand.
grow, really.
So, nakaka-proud.
Nakaka-proud.
I'm gonna
Oh, you're gonna cry. Goosebumps again. Of course, we have Keith Walter Ayuso, who's all about philosophy and, of course, lifestyle, right? Faith Rodriguez, also, who has been, a very prominent, lifestyle influencer. Millet Su, one of Bubbly Miles. Paul
Yeah,
Ramos.
Paul Ramos, of course, one of the OGs.
Who doesn't know Paul Ramos, right? One of the OGs, right?
And also we have Jerry Wilmot, who just won the Time Out Award for the Best Parenting Blog.
I love Jerry Wilmot because she brings something new to the table, with all her beautiful babies. Amazing, amazing guys. Of course, Junimar Geka, who's Boy in Chick. I love that name, Boy in Chick. And Lady Anne Bitamor Abbott, of course, who's also, an old hand in the, on the social media platform scene. Alisa Nicole of Tecnemoda, Debbie Oka, Hannah Magsayo, Angela Fernandez, Abir Acero.
We also have Jason Hagire, Michael Emlano, and of course,
Brusco Barbers.
Brusco Barbers.
How can we not, right? I mean, why are barbers so important in terms of influence?
I love barbers.
You love barbers.
I am obsessed with barber shops.
They have changed the standard out there. That's why it's important for us to mention them here. And I think we have some people to greet, Alwi,
We
right?
have a lot of people to greet. We're saying hello to Kier Pascual, Lela Limorin, Robert Deregno, Chris Columbiran, Erickson Robles, Millet Swan, Lei Kabungkal, Dolly Puamiku. Oh, Bettina's mom, I'm assuming. Janice Ponce, Francisco is watching. Valentino Montuerto, Jillian Ben oh my god. This is the end part of the and I'm still butchering everyone's name. I'm so sorry.
Of course, you have Bench De La Rosa, Manuel Baldemor. Wow, the artist Manuel Baldemor, all the way in the Philippines. We have Jaja, Mary Jane, Christina Barrientos. Hi, Christina. Hilarion Oliver in Saudi Arabia. Hi, Hilarion. And
Gui Soriano, Tess Keating, Rex Bacara, Ishwar Chugani, Enrique Yamzon, Engineer Jane Alvero, Jaja Rivera, Rian Miranda from KSA.
Hi, guys.
Agnes Marilid, Yen is watching. We'll see you guys later.
This is basically like a virtual party right now, which is going to be a party later on, right? So thank you so much. We would like to thank everybody again who has supported Illustrado 300, most influential Filipinos of the Gulf. I know it's a mouthful. We've been talking about all these people. Please, please do wait for this issue. You can order this. You can read all the stories, and we're gonna release all the stories one by one.
So how do you feel after publishing 300 amazing
so for you
stories?
guys who've been looking for us for the last 2 weeks, I wasn't kidding. We were really busy, and that's the whole reason. It's because of this, and we're proud to have this.
And tonight we party.
And tonight we party. So thank you very much. Thank you once again to our supporters: Sky Skin Clinic, Emirates Airline, Unilever, Michael Cinco, Ezra Couture, Giordano and Herschel Supply Co., Darcey Flowers, IKON Solutions, Victor's Freight, MPQ Tourism, Asia Gulf Companies, Carne and Filfood, WOL Water, Angel Villiar de Jesus, and of course Garimon Roferos Couture. And thank you to the entire team who has made this possible.
And thank you to the entire Illustrado community for joining us and listening to our stories. I hope you guys keep watching, keep reading, and
Yes.
so just more stories so we can
Keep talking to us, guys. Tell us your stories. If there's anybody there that we need to know about, please do share it. And we're always looking for Filipinos who elevate.
Yeah.
This is our keyword,
Elevate.
elevate. We have to elevate the Filipino community, and we wish you all an amazing weekend out there, and hope that you get inspired by all these stories.
Because I have been so inspired.
So inspired, right? So thank you very much. And this was it for us at Illustrado Go Live. And this is the Illustrado 300 most influential Filipinos in the Gulf.